What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and EA Sports is back at it again with more insane mutcoin glitches, bro. This is what you're gonna have to do, and you're gonna have to do it really quickly. And I know a lot of you guys, depending on your skill level, are gonna say, yo, G, this mutt draft got me going crazy, but it's really not that wild, all right? And I'm gonna explain to you why you gotta get it done, because I don't think that you have that much time left to do it. And after this is done, right, after these 3 days are up, you can't really do anything outside of this to get these coins. All right. Now, for those of you guys that are already on like your 100th flawless, it doesn't really matter. You already know what's going on. This is for the people that still don't know and you have a limited amount of time. And I'm getting so many questions about it. Like, how are you getting this many coins? Look, guys, just stay playing that mode. You have a few things you can do. You can only focus in on that mode, or if you're good enough to play Gauntlet and get a Gauntlet pack, like, you know, obviously that's like 2 to 3 million coins regardless, unless it's right now where the cards that are already released are really bad, you can actually do it later, you know, when they drop the new Gauntlet card, but you can still hold the pack, just don't open it. And as soon as the pack, you know, refreshes with the new card, you just sell it for like 3 or 4 mil. But with the way that this is set up, right, and I want to make sure I'm clear with it, I'm not gonna be playing Gauntlet anymore. I started to play it. You can see I played 2 games, and then my viewers are like, "Yo, bro, we're done with it because the card is garbage." Now, the benefit of it is probably gonna be early in the year if they bring it back for Madden 26. But as far as it goes right now, this is not glitchy because you gotta play continuously. And like I showed you guys, you can't even just get top 100 and get the emblem. You actually have to be top 100 now. So it's real stupid. So we've decided not to do it. Jimmy Graham is not going to be going for that much because even though he gets Avalanche, it's going to be just like the Ryan Leaf. At that point, everybody's going to have Avalanche, so it won't really matter. Jonathan Taylor, Carl Brooks, all these cards are trash. So this is not as glitchy as it was to start the year, or even with Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, the reason that I played all the time that I played and stayed in the top 100 was because I really wanted that card. It's Calvin Johnson. And he got double me built in for 2 or something like that. Well, it wasn't built in, but he got it for 2 or something like that. Doesn't really matter, right? But that was glitchy. I made 10 million coins from that card. And then after I started to invest in my team, obviously I went down to 30K, and then I started doing this mutt draft and I'm at 13 million. All right. So this right here is just not the plan. Like, just don't do this. Okay, because you guys are wasting your time with it, and then you're not going to get anything out of it at the end of continuously playing it for 30 days. It's just not going to be worth it. All right. Now, Mutt Champions, I'm going to show you guys what happens with that. Look, we just went 20-0, right? So this week is over. I don't know how they have it set, but you know, we went 20-0 this week. They don't have it like weekend league, so it doesn't really matter. There's not anything that is of any kind of value with it, and they don't even track it anymore, right? But what they give you, although they've taken away the fact that you can actually, you used to be able to auction the card in the middle of it, and I made so many coins doing that. They've taken that away. All right, so you get the 100K, and then you get the 2 touchdown packs, and then you also get the BND, you know, champion pack. Now, the touchdown pack can actually have any card that's available at that time. So I opened the pack live on stream when I just finished going 20-0, and it was garbage in there. But some of you guys might pull the All-Star or whatever that's available. So that may be something that you could look into. All right, if you guys are interested in also trying to get coins right now. Again, all of these things are pretty much laid out based on your skill level. Now, for those of you guys that are just like, yo, G, you know, I'm not really good at the game. I'm just trying to get my coins up. Like, what are we doing right now? Regular season. Now, this is a crazy moneymaker, but it's a lot of coins involved. All right. I mean, well, no, a lot of games, a lot more games involved, I meant to say. Like, obviously, we're talking about coins, but a lot more games are involved with it. But it's like 7 or 8 games you're going to have to play. Like, I think if you get the buy, maybe 8 games or something. But this is the situation, right? I was making like I guess I was making like 400K a season. This is the only other thing that you can do outside of that. So now, because I'm done with Mutt Champs and Gauntlet, I'm going to focus it on that. And then you could also make coins from that situation. All right. That's pretty much the in-game stuff to do. Now, with the challenges, this is also very, very complex because if you don't already have currency, you get a lot of B&D garbage. So because they're B&D, it has no value outside of your team. You guys are going to say, yo, G, how am I doing anything with that? And you guys are absolutely right. The B&Ds, in my opinion, really hurt the game because if you make people grind the game for auctionable cards, obviously more people will grind the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something like EA got so greedy that they took away the ability for us to be able to sell what we grind for. And that was one of the major downfalls of the game, in my opinion, because you should be able to auction what you put your time into. It doesn't make any sense because you took away the trade block, so there's really no harm if we want to sell it. What's going to happen is if it's auctionable, everybody will have one and we can sell it whenever we want. So there's really no downside to it other than the fact that they were being greedy, in my opinion. So when you see the B&D, the only way this benefits you is if you were able to buy a card that you already, purchased, and then you get the same card as the B&D when you get lucky in the pull. And then you sell the auctionable one and keep the B&D. But B&Ds are not good. It's a really, really bad thing for the game, and it makes absolutely no sense. But inside of these challenges, there are many other ways for you to go through and get cards that you can use to make your team better in order to compete at a higher level. All right, but most of them are B&D, except for the fact when EA messes up and then we end up getting auctionable cards out of it. Even with the tokens that you get, it's still going to redeem you a B&D card, unless it's Team of the Year. That's the one thing that they give you at the end of the year, like all the way at the end. That's auctionable, is a Team of the Year card. Now, as far as in the store, things that people have been doing to kind of make coins and stuff like that, you can still lock in, right, with season tickets and play around with this, the boom or bust. I'm going to tell you right now, it's straight busting, dude. Like, for me, straight busting. Like, dude, it's so nasty. I don't know. These dudes are posting stuff on social media. Yo, I pulled this, I pulled that. Doesn't happen. Just to make sure you get the emphasis, I'm going to pull one right now. But is it possible that you can still do the same exact thing that I do right now and probably get something good? Yes. But for the most part, you're going to be getting stuff like that. That's what's going to happen. And that's it. You're going to be done. Pure, unadulterated garbage. Now, I would say maybe 2% of the people that watch this video will pull one of the limiteds that are going for over 5 mil all-star. Like, you might get it, but for the most part, I will not recommend this. All right? Inside of training, all of this is garbage. You could do mystery packs, but it's all a L because you're going to get all garbage. And right now, with the way that the game is, you probably should wait for golden tickets to play around with anything regarding training. Like, seriously, just wait for that. As far as spending money, at this point, I would not recommend spending money at all. Anything that you're going to need to kind of get you to that part of completing the game with, rookie premieres, I would focus in on that. Okay? This is something that I would probably, for the most part, say to avoid for now, is buying packs. Even with the fact that, Mike Allstott is that expensive. I just would probably go against utilizing that method at any time right now in purchasing anything, because it just doesn't make any sense to do it. But if it comes down to it and you getting into the game late and you're like, yo, G, I'm a new viewer. Should I do this to get my cards in Madden 26 so I can have a step ahead of any of the players that I'm playing? I would say that it makes sense for that because you're investing in making sure that your overall game plan is ready to go for the new Madden. But as far as Madden 25, I would avoid spending any money at this time. So that's everything that's going on in that aspect of the game. Packs, the challenges, and everything that happens with actually competing head to head. Anything else that you're doing inside of sets, you want to focus in on the current set. The NFL draft sets, or even like the all-time, the all-star player sets. You can kind of make stuff with it, but the trick is to play those modes, open packs, and get a lot of cards that go into any of these sets to complete them and sell them. For the most part, everything that's in the catalog that is something that you can actually get right now, it's all going to be the value of how much you actually have to put into it to complete the set. So any of the set cards that you want to make, look through the catalog and make sure it makes sense, and then see what you get from playing the mode and turn it into coins. That's the way that I've made 13 mil. So for more of that, you'd have to subscribe and actually see me play live to kind of see me go through it during my live streams. So you can check those live streams out here on YouTube, live on Twitch, GmiasWorld Gaming. You can check it out as well if you're not already subscribed there. Other than that, I'm going to give you guys more tips and tricks to get prepared for these golden tickets, and I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, one love, y'all.